34th lecture of the Semantic SEO course. In this lecture, we will focus on the content briefs that we have created, which is the first step of creating a semantic content network. So as you look at here, you will realize that the concepts that we have used before, like the central entity, then the central search intent, and the source context, they are actually distributed in this project as well. And our central entity here is actually the voter, and the source context is actually luxury voter, which is again a type of voter. But the main issue here is that Svalbard isn't just a luxury water brand, it is also an Arctic water brand. An Arctic water is relatively more expensive than the other types of water, which is one of the attributes and the meaning conditions that exists inside the luxury water again. And when we unite the concepts like Arctic water and the luxury water with each other, we will get the quality of the water together, which is a justification for the price, which is again connected to the luxury water. And our purpose here, the central search intent that will be seen in entire website with the site-wide engrams and the phrases, topical entries, and the context entries, it will be actually drinking water, and we directly reflect this concept, the drinking water, directly in our root document. And it will be reflected in the root of the root document, which is also root of the semantic content network. So whatever you do, you can even actually use these things in ChatGPT or these type of systems in the future, because right now we are using these type of systems with like single sentence prompts. But in the future, in the context of search engine optimization, maybe we will be even using 2000 words of prompts, just creating a single document with the best possible way. We will be writing like rules for sentence structures, and we will write some certain types of other context terms with a certain types of prominence scores. Then we will teach the machine to how to structure entire document. And all these things will be averagely 2000 words. And once everyone does it in that way, then the prompts even will go longer. Imagine the articles, then the fact checking will be coming. And of course, most of these things will be done over certain types of APIs. Maybe in this course, you already have seen that actually I published my Saigon speech, because the Saigon speech that I have given, it is the future of the SEO, and 100% it will be happening. So let's move on to the root of the entire semantic content network here. If you look at in this area, you will realize that the first thing that we always be looking at is actually the queries. So when you look at here, you should realize that there are 3 different columns here. In the previous project, there was only one. And usually, if the topic is YMYL, and if I am creating quality notes, and I will explain what it is later, but basically, if I am trying to exceed the quality thresholds, I usually use 3 columns. The first column comes from the first ranking page, and the second one doesn't have to come from the second ranking web page. It should be slightly different. This one is an educational website. That's why I have it directly here. And the other one in this area is the Healthline. I am choosing Healthline because it's the first source that I am trying to outrank with all these articles. If I am able to outrank it, I will be able to classify with all these authority websites. Then I will be proving my authority, and I will be getting my authority state to go for other topics. So in this case, this is for ranking for this specific context, and this is for actually being classified with others. And what is the third one? The third one is actually focusing on the phrase taxonomy. Basically, I am getting this specific phrase, then all the other variations are, or the combinations are, the specific different types of phrase sequences of the same context. This is slightly related to the dense retrieval, but basically you will need to understand when exactly we are talking about a different context. So first, we will give most of the weight for question generation and contextual vector creation to this point. Then we will be adding many other context terms from this area so that we can actually outrank this one. And at the same time, we will use this one especially for the internal links, because we have different types of water. For instance, we processed the lemon water already, but we didn't go to the coconut water. We have a few things for alkaline water in the context of pH level especially. But we don't always need to create actually different types of web pages. And lemon water is very much more connected to the health, which is implied inside this benefit, which is implied or completed further with the words like physical, psychological, and other types of attribute signals. So in this case, coconut water will be more relevant to the recipes, but lemon water will be relevant to the weight loss or fat burning and other types of contexts. You will need to feel these denses as much as possible, because not every word inside a query has the same weight. And if some of these words do not have any weight, which means that they will be under this root context, or they will be some other types of context. For instance, we also process the hot water in a similar way. The next step you will need to do is actually multiplying or creating different types of combinations from all these things directed to this area for internal link creations. And of course, macro context will slightly different. Sorry for driving all these arrows, but I need to first explain the logic in these queries. Then we will look at the context vectors easily in the next lecture.